Hey guys, it's Sharif with Fast Car Seats. Welcome or welcome back if you've been here before. So I'm back at the audio upgrade in the Lexus GX today. I had a little bit of a hiccup when I was putting in the front speakers. One of my speakers had a hole in the rubber seal around the speaker. So contacted Crutchfield customer service. They're the absolute best. And I got they couldn't replace the same model because they were out of stock, but I was able to actually get a slight upgrade, and I got some Focal speakers that I'll put in. And what I was going to do was going to test it out, going to test out all the speakers with the factory amp and see how that sounds. And then if it doesn't sound quite how I want it to, then I would switch out the factory amp and put in an aftermarket amp. So stay tuned and we'll see kind of which direction we go there. But for now, I'm gonna work on switching out the front speakers. I already did the rear speakers. I'll just kind of walk you through how you do that. If you can do the fronts, the rears are super easy. So we'll just get right into it. All right guys, so to take off the front door, I think I've showed you this already, but all you're basically gonna need is a panel popper and a screwdriver, Phillips head screwdrivers. There's one panel over, or not panel, there's one kind of button over here. So the way that you take, I'm trying to get the shadow out, the way that you take this guy off is you just got to kind of push in the middle, and then you can take out that. So that's how that guy works. Okay, got this out. Then you basically just, wherever you see a piece of like a wiring harness that's connecting your door to your car, you just take it off. Okay. And now the door panel is off. So this part's gonna look a little bit different probably than your car, because like I said, I already switched these out. And now I'm just replacing them because my speakers had an issue. So, but it's gonna be the same exact process. It's just gonna look a little bit different. So there's 3 speakers on the Lexus. One is on the door, and then 2 are in the door panel. So I'll do this guy first. And because I already have this done, really I can just take the speaker itself out. Here we go. Speakers out. Okay, for this part, mid-range speaker is behind this part right here. I put quick clips on. I had to make this basically, but you just strip the wiring and then you can just buy these at, I bought them at AutoZone. You can buy them pretty much anywhere. You just get the little quick clips that you can go onto your speakers, because most of the aftermarket speakers are going to have these kind of install tabs that you just slide on. So on this part, some of these hold the bracket that holds the speaker in place, and some of them hold the grill on. So just know that your speaker grill is going to fall off once you take this stuff off. Okay. Now this guy's off, and then there's 2 screws that are holding this in. I had to create a new hole in here to get this in, and you just use a drill bit. You just kind of eyeball the drill bit to roughly the same size as your screw, maybe a little smaller. You just pre-drill a hole, and then that way you can screw it in. So that's how I made that. tweeter has a metal bracket holding it in. So we'll remove that. And then what I did, let me show you. If you go on Crutchfield, it'll tell you that like very few speakers will fit in the tweeter location. So what I did was there was like a little plastic wall here, and I just cut it off, and that allowed for this tweeter to kind of just sit in there flush, and it sounded fine. So that was my solution. I'm sure it'll work for pretty much any aftermarket speaker that you try to put in here. So don't be deterred by you know, Crutchfield saying that it's not going to be an exact fit, because it's not that hard to make it fit well. This next part that I'm doing is I'm trying to decide if I do end up doing the amp, then I'm going to need to run new speaker wire. I'm going to want to run new speaker wire. And so basically just looking at the jacket over here. Let me get you a good view. So here's a better view. So at the bottom of this here, you can see basically like the rubber sleeve that covers all the wires. Because I might put new speaker wire through, probably will, I'm just going to loosen this. There was just a couple of tabs over here that I had to undo, and now there should be a path through. I don't know if it's going to be enough for the speaker wire. We'll have to see how that goes. And now this guy's probably going to come out because I'm going to run new speaker wire through. I won't need this part. Okay. Now I just disconnected my battery because I think I am going to do that amp. Because why not, right? More content. So now you've got a shot. So I've got, here's the carpet. You just kind of peel that back. And this piece under right here is your factory amp. So I'm gonna work on taking this guy out, and we'll replace it with the aftermarket one that I got. Here's the factory amp and the bracket that holds it in. Okay, this is the amp that I'm going to be putting in its place. It's a JL Audio. The speakers that I have are three-way speakers with an external crossover. So I think the first thing that I'm going to do, it's starting to get kind of hot, so I think I'm just going to try to like feed the speaker wire through and just get the speakers inside the car. Because then at the very least, I can just probably use the factory amp for like another day if I needed to, and then I could figure this part out. So that's the first thing I'm going to do. Alright, good morning guys. I am back at it today. Yesterday didn't go so well. Yeah, my camera ran out of battery, so I'm not sure exactly when it cut out, but the speakers are in, the front speakers are in. The driver's side has new speaker wire and is ready to be connected to an amp. The passenger side, I just kept the factory wiring because we had dinner plans and we needed to go. So currently, the driver's side speakers, there's no power going to them, so they don't work. So I'm back out here today because when you have 3 kids, this is what you have to do, is to get your car done. And I'm going to try to knock out at least some of the amp install today. I don't know if I'll be able to get it all done, but we'll see how far we can get. So back at it right now. Okay, so the E36 is going to be my working table right now, and I'm just kind of going through all of what I've got. I just got this amp kit from AutoZone. I'm sure it's fine. I'm sure there are better ones out there, but at the end of the day, we're just talking about speaker wire. And this shows a helpful diagram of basically the plan, what we're doing. So it's for the power, you know, you got battery to the fuse to your amp. There's a firewall, which is basically just like a little hole that's protected between what's under your hood and the rest of your car. So you'll just run the power wire through there, find a way to your amp, and then essentially from there, the amp will you just run speaker wire from the amp to everything else, and then you have to somehow get power from your head unit to your amp, and that's what this cable is for. So that's the gist of, that's the overview basically of what we're about to do. The first thing you got to do is basically figure out a route from your power to your fuse, where that's going to go, where your fuse holder is going to go. My hood has these holes pre-drilled here, so I'm going to basically try to put my fuse holder in one of those holes, because I think that'll be helpful. It says not to use more than, just try to keep it 12 inches or closer from your battery, so I think right about there should be good. I'll make the cut right here, and that should give me enough room to get to where the fuse is going to be. Okay, so I'll show you the way to identify your firewall is you basically look at where your electrical, look how it's getting into your car. So here's some that's coming through there. There's another one down there. So you basically follow those, and that'll tell you the best way that you can run electrical wiring into your car. So for me, let's see here. I think it's going to be that one. We are making progress. So basically I'm through the firewall over there. I've got the power cord over here now inside the car. Now it's going to be a matter of mapping out where everything is going to go. Okay guys, we're making some more progress here. So I've got the power cable through, and it's mapped out to basically where I'm gonna want it to be. I'm not gonna hook it up to my amp just yet. I gotta figure out where I'm gonna ground the amp. I think there's gonna be a ground spot here. You're basically looking for an unpainted part of your car, and I think there is one under the seat actually. Okay, so I've identified my ground. It's going to be that spot right there. That was where the factory amp bracket attached to, but I'm going to use it as a ground. I stripped away some of the paint that was there, and I think that'll be a good spot. It'll be hidden. Right now the chair is up and all the way forward, so that's why you can see it, but even if it's exposed like there's a strip of carpet that can cover it. I think that'll be a good spot. All right guys, the amp install is just about done. I think I lost quite a bit of footage, so I'll just kind of walk you through everything that I did. So, right, disconnected the battery and put in the power for the amp. So this is connected to the positive terminal, to the fuse, the inline fuse, and then through here we're through the firewall going into the car. So I just found basically an unused grommet and went through there. Then on the inside, let's stick with the power line for now. So it's coming in through there. I think you guys can see it. And then I've got it running through here on this GX. It's got kind of these wire clips here that you can kind of just run it through, under the carpet, under the seat, and into the amp. Ultimately, the amp is going to go under the seat. That's where the factory one was, so I figured I'd just use the same spot. The ground is right under here. There's a, right there. I just scraped off some paint, and then that was the ground. The speaker wire is currently a mess, but yeah, from the driver's side, it's running through here. I think I'm gonna do the same thing. I'm gonna kind of run it under the carpet, and the crossovers for the front speakers will go under the seat next to the amp as well. The RCAs are, and the speaker wire, and the RCAs, sorry, and the remote wire are running through here, all through here. The panel will hopefully cover that. Hopefully it can still close over these thick wires. I'll play around with it to get it to fit right, and then up into the head unit. So I tested it out. It sounds amazing. I think one of the things that I was worried about was that I was going to go through all this work and it was not going to be that much better than the factory, but it is. It's significantly better. I don't even know how to put it into words. It's cleaner, it's crisper, significantly louder, cleaner sounds. I mean, it's just, I can't even, it's so much better. So I'm glad it was worth all the work. Also, I know that car audio is not really that hard, but I'm really proud of myself for pulling this off. It's my first time doing a complete audio system like this with the amp and everything. I'm still really nervous with wiring, like, you know, using the battery for power, that whole thing. Like, I was super nervous about it. I'm glad I got it to work. And now I'm just gonna put the car back together and listen to some music. So, you know, definitely shoot me any questions if you're trying to do something similar with the GX. When I was researching this, from what I've read, it's a lot easier if you have the non-Martin Levinson system, which is what this one had. This one did not have the Martin Levinson system, so I guess that made it easier. But I actually, if you're gonna do what I did, which is run all new wiring and everything, I don't think it really matters, because you're getting rid of basically every Martin Levinson component anyway, including the wiring, and you're running all new wiring. I don't think it would actually be that much harder. But yeah, if you have any questions on what I did, or you want more details, or if you want to do something like this yourself, you know, let me know in the comment section, and I'll be happy to help you out as best I can. Again, I don't purport to like be an expert in this or anything, so I'm sure I did something, you know, incorrectly, or somebody would, you know, a professional would probably say incorrectly, but I'm really happy with how it turned out. Oh, let me point out one thing to keep in mind. Have your power and your RCA cables be as far from each other as possible. I've got mine, the power is through here, and then the RCAs are through there. Yeah, if you've ever been in a car that has like a buzzing noise, that's probably because the power to the amp, the power cable to the amp and the RCA cables are too close, and the interference is causing that buzzing. So try to keep them separate, and you'll be good. And if you hear a really loud GX bumping, you know, Armin van Buren, it's probably me. So just stop me and say hi. All right, thanks a lot for following along, guys, and I'll see you on the next one.